Today we're talking about one of CFB 26's most debated recruiting tools. Everyone has an opinion on Sway. Some say it's amazing and you're crazy not to use it. Others say it's a complete waste of time. But does Sway actually work? I decided to test it myself with real data. The results may surprise you. In this video, I'll show you exactly what I found and whether you should use it in your dynasty. Okay, so in my last recruiting video, I mentioned I never really used Sway that much, so I asked you for your experience, and you went crazy in the comments. Half of you said Sway is amazing, the other half said Sway is a waste of time. So I decided to test it out for myself, but before we get to the results, what exactly is Sway, and how is it different this year? Sway essentially lets you try to change what a recruit cares about. Let's say your recruit's ideal pitch looks something like this, but you don't want to pitch your program tradition because it's C+. You can use Sway to potentially change that ideal pitch by adding on another green checkmark. In this case, brand exposure could then become a green checkmark, and you can use that as part of your ideal pitch instead. And this year, EA made it way better by showing you your chances of success before you try it. Now let me show you how I tested this. I wanted to make sure it was right and fair. I ran 5 dynasties with Georgia, a 5-star program, then I ran 5 dynasties with Cal, a 3-star program. That's 10 total dynasties with about 100 recruits tested. I kept everything the same to make it fair. I won every single game, I made sure none of my coordinators had Sway bonuses, and I only recruited players from the same pipeline areas. I tested recruiting strategies in 2 different stages. The first, the early stage, before I knew the hard sell. I used Send the House, this is the all-in 50 hours. Sway plus an additional 15 hours. I used Sway here when their ideal pitch could be 2 options, but I couldn't quite figure it out yet. Then I brought it up to 45 hours since I can't mathematically get it to 50. Then I used Sway plus soft sell. I used Sway here when I was also between 2 ideal pitches, but this time I selected my ideal pitch as Sway and soft sold the other as sort of a hedge. The second stage, once I figured out hard sell, I either did one of 2 things. If the Sway and the soft sell were successful and I essentially had 2 ideal pitches, I would do a double soft sell with both these ideal pitches, then an additional 10 hours. This didn't happen as often. Most of the time, I ended up just doing a hard sell as soon as I could, and of course added the 10 more hours on top of the hard sell to get it to 50. For each one, I measured how much the weekly impact bar filled up. The higher the number, the better the recruiting action worked. Alright, let's get to the results. The double soft sell plus 10 came in first with a 71.4 impact. That's the best result, but it is risky. I'll explain why in a minute. Hard sell plus 10 got 61.5, Send the House got 49.4, Successful Sway plus 15 came at 39.4, Sway plus soft sell got 32.85, and dead last, as expected, failed Sway plus 15 with only 21.5. Now you can see why Sway is so controversial. When it works really well. It helps you immediately move on to a hard sell instead of potentially being stuck for a few more weeks on Send the House, or even better, it could lead to a double soft sell plus 10 if it gives you 2 ideal pitches. When it fails though, it really sets you back. Okay, so what do we do all this? When should you actually use Sway? Well, I think there are 2 main situations. First, when you're behind and need a Hail Mary. If you're losing a recruiting battle and need that high risk double soft plus 10 strategy, Sway might be worth a gamble. Or if you need to unlock a hard sell immediately and can't afford to wait several more weeks on Send the House, Sway could fast track you there. Remember, it's a risk, but there are 2 ways it can pay off. The second situation is when there's a grade mismatch. Maybe your school grades don't match what the recruit wants. Sway can help you change their focus to something you're actually good at. So with all this data, how am I going to use this going forward? Well, I'm still sticking with my main strategy. Send the House first, then switch to hard sell as soon as I can. But I'll use Sway in those 2 situations above with one key rule. If the Sway fails, I'm going to cut my losses and move on. I'm not going to waste recruiting hours chasing bad investments. The key here is being smart about when you take risks. Don't just use Sway because it's there. Use it when you have a specific reason and a backup plan in place. There you have it. What other recruiting strategies do you want me to test? Let me know in the comments. And if this helped you with recruiting in Dynasty, hit that like button and subscribe for more CFB 26 content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.